Good evening. My name is Anshul Das. I have been giving many sessions from past few days related to the topics like breath meditation, yoga, soul consciousness, chakras, swaras, and I've been mixing up things with my personal experience. So here comes the difference. Most of the people in this world are giving pure knowledge and not really practical implementation that how this can be done in our own real life. So it's a scripted thing. But when I talk about anything here, I try to bring the knowledge along with my experience and how I did mistakes. Hey, Casti, is that you? Okay, thank you. So whatever I'm trying to share is based on the practical knowledge of my experiments with life and based on the concepts which I have learned. So it's completely different path which I'm taking, because I think that there is a lot of information already around in this world, but practical implementation is something which is really missing, and people who have really faced problems, and when they have used these particular concepts which are going in the world, then if they share their understanding, then the things become more, or they bring more enlightenment. So I wrote an article in which I told that normal human have heartbeat of 72 to 80, and my heartbeat always used to come around 60 to 65 range. I thought that it is a born defect, and later when I started doing workout seriously, then I found that this heartbeat is making me promote doing the things in more excess ways. Like I was able to continue jumping and climbing stairs much better than other people, because it's a heartbeat which is helping me to keep my blood pressure very normal. So something which I learned just now after 35 years of my life, I thought that this is my weakest portion, but it came out to be my strongest part of life. So I am converting myself literally into fitness freaks these days, because fitness is very important in these days when we have money going around in creating everything. If we see the external world, then most people are running just a way to find shortcut to money, and they are mostly interested to somehow gain from their whatever knowledge or information they are trying to share, and it's okay. But we need to develop a mechanism in our body so that it helps us to make our energy levels so high that we still remain normal. Because if we try to take the supplements or whatever, they won't work unless, thank you Rajni, unless we have really strong internal mechanism and acceptance. And this session is about the irritable bowel syndrome, which I suffered in year 2007, and I was diagnosed. This is something which wrecks a person's life, social life, personal life, professional life. Person who gets this IBS normally spends his time thinking about shit and bathroom and toilets, and he constantly, or he or she constantly struggles with something to eat, mostly starves his or her body, and becomes a victim of weight loss and doesn't know how to come out of it. So his dependency remains on doctors whom he or she thinks that can provide a magic pill that will make the things happen. Thank you, Nanda. That will make the things happen somehow. But actually, by taking all those pills, it happens that a person's body becomes weak in some other side, because I'm sorry, but English medicine works on suppressing the symptoms. They are not the long-term solution. Yes, they have an advantage that they are able to provide relief to the people who are instant relief to the people who are suffering from irritable bowel syndrome, but in long term, if we keep depending on them, then they are going to make our body hollow. So in this 6 steps approach, I try to explain people how to come out of IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and to deal with it naturally in longer terms. It's not like medicine can stop right now, or there is a need of a change in medicine which they are taking, and that needs to continue for, thank you for all my viewers who are watching me patiently. I really appreciate your time for taking out to watch me. So it doesn't mean that a person is going to get rid of medicine somehow, but it means that he or she will be having the acceptance that IBS will go slowly from the body. So a person who is completely feeling energyless can start with English medicines, and that will really suit or help him gaining the energy in less amount of time. But he or she needs to have that acceptance and open-minded thinking that they, in order to heal from IBS in longer terms, he or she need to adopt another kind of medicine system which is going to work slowly but effectively and will not make the body hollow. So this system can be either an Ayurvedic medicines system in India, or it can be a homeopathic medicine, another system of India medicines. So this particular medicine system actually deals with IBS in healing the body in other natural ways. So it doesn't work on suppression, but actually work on the cause of creating the force that is creating IBS, because in our science it's still a area which needs to be researched, and is still a gray area that what exactly causes IBS. So in this acceptance level, a person first need to understand that he or she need to have that energy to accept the change and change the system of the medicine. And once it becomes he or she becomes used to it and starts gaining energy, then he or she can focus on the free cycles that are getting generated to make higher commitments. When I say higher commitments, it means that once our energy is increasing, then definitely we are going to step up our approach to maybe breathing exercises, maybe some fitness exercises, maybe working on changing the mindsets, and maybe spirituality. So it might happen that a person changes his system of medicines and still it's not getting relieved. Maybe on 2-3 weeks he is still suffering from bad symptoms of IBS. Then what should he do? So in this approach, my 6 step approach can work in reverse way. So we can start from spirituality first. We try to make person spiritual level little high by slowly working on his or her energy, so that everything which operates in this whole universe is based on vibrations, and when we start absorbing those positive vibrations, automatically our body will start vibrating with that resonance or absorbing that resonance, which is high energy. It's because people get so negative and so unwell that they are not able to accept that energy. So we work on spirituality principles of person, so that his or her spiritual level becomes little high, to start absorbing that high frequency energy, and that will start bringing some healing. But again, there is a patience required in this process. So if a person finds it difficult to do a commitment level, then we can start the journey from a spirituality level. Number third step comes with the diets and the do's. So in this particular step, we know that our body, we are what we are eating, and to a large extent we are dependent upon external food for ensuring good health. So it's very important and mindful thing that what we are eating we should be aware of, and should eat with things with understanding the real value of it. Emotional intelligence of food is something we need to understand, and just not focus on the nutrient values, because it has become a myth that body need of protein is highest, and so that's why the highest level of protein is in either eggs or either in non-veg. But the thing is that there are so many supplements available which are natural and can help in healing a person much better way. And I suggest this approach because person who is eating non-veg is eating something which is already having that not so good emotional intelligence. Because a person who has been eating non-veg is, that what is the process of that particular processed or non-veg food to reach to us. Animal which is made forced to kill is in so much anger and depression, so that his body is already ready with so many emotions. So if we eat a food which so negative emotion, it definitely affects our gut health. People who are from the countries who are eating too much non-veg may find it really difficult to come out of this habit, but somehow what I can recommend is start doing some few practices of skipping non-veg at a times, maybe twice or thrice in a week, and then so it's you're vegetarian, that's good. So even the idea is to get vegan, means no non-veg, no eggs, no milk product, no cheese, no curd, no processed food. So it's a high level of nutritious diet which is required if a person really wants to maintain that good level of health in these times. But not for everybody it is possible. So I would say that continue with what you have, but just try to make or eat things with more awareness about those animals, because in past our cows used to give milk out of their pure love. Now but the milk has become so necessity of life that they are made to remain pregnant for 12 months for us getting milk. So for ghee or milk or curd, or cheese. These things are made available to us because these cows are kept constantly pregnant. So this is the suffering which they go into for us. So we need to understand that we need to also become more aware what we are eating. Vegetarian food already has a lot of nutrients which can help us to remain healthy. Again, I would say that if person is really aware and preparing food with such a good emotional health, automatically the food will become the prasadam. It's an English word. Prasad is prasadam. So when person with a good emotional mood is preparing a food with care for the people whom actually he or she is preparing, food becomes already prasad. And by doing some prayers, offering some prayers before eating that food for removing the negative vibrations and being grateful, already enhances its energy. So when it goes into body, it doesn't create those complex emotions, and that's why a person will automatically be better healthy, like he will be healthy by naturally, and he doesn't need to take supplements. If we think about our grandmothers and grandfathers, then at that time the complexity of life was not that much, and that's why they had time to prepare the food, they had time to eat the food, they had time to enjoy the food. And we here in this world right now have every comfort, but we do not have time to properly chew. Yes, you're correct, Rachel. I'd suggest actually the power backup came, and said that's why, because light was not coming from around 5-6 hours, so there was some shift, so that's why this video got interrupted. I'm sorry. Therefore, we eat the same meat of animals, we become depressed, and we become what we eat, what we become. That's 100% true, actually. And I literally was a person who was having a family with meat eating history, and we used to enjoy a lot, but after getting this IBS I got shifted. And I will tell you that these bad habits are the most difficult ones to leave, because the taste of this non-veg is so much binding that it creates a bind to the tongue, and whatever a person is going to eat will taste like grass. That is the power of this non-veg food. Though it is having that bad emotional health when the animal was slaughtered, but still it is having so much taste into it that a person finds it really hard to eat that. And again, by praying for that animal and by thinking for that animal, that we start realizing the importance of like not eating the food which is non-veg or which is prepared by killing someone. So that is about the diet. When a person focuses on diet, automatically his energy level becomes much better, and in that case he can start following the fitness routines, starting with very light exercises which can be even taken care on bed, like they can be done on bed by sitting in the few positions, or there are few breathing exercises which increases the body energy level, and I have covered that part already in the breath meditation video which I gave. So once person focuses on breaths and doing some exercises sitting on the bed, then his energy level will further increase, and then what he or she can start doing when the energy level is more better, then he or she can go for a morning walk. For an IBS person, morning walk is very, very important thing. So because this particular morning walk energizes person completely. If he or she is lucky and getting some sunlight and getting some cool breeze during these walks, then definitely his energy is going to change. And once he continues doing this for at least 20-21 days, then his energy level will be definitely different. And then once he reaches his or her home, he can utilize that energy to do some light exercise of stretching, exercise of doing the Surya Namaskar, exercise of doing some little bit of rope jumps. If not possible, then little bit of more stretching. So this is related to the fitness and for regaining the focus. Yeah, Rajni, please. Meanwhile, Rajni is typing her question. I will continue on this. So the number fifth step is about the mindset. And once we are having that acceptance, we are having that commitment, we are having the diet, and we are having the fitness regained in us, then it's about the mindset. That's a very good question, and even you are awake, Rajni. It's about that energy. Rabindranath Tagore, you know how many hours he used to sleep when he was actually into that spirit of doing something for nation? I think 4 hours. So it's 100%, and I will tell you, this was my biggest roadblock when I was trying to do something, because I thought that if I won't sleep for 7 hours or 6 hours, even 8 hours, then I would not have sufficient energy and my health will deteriorate. But it's not the truth. The truth is that if you have that, your mission is clear and you have that vision how to work on your things, universe gives you some amazing kind of energy. And even I would say that if person works on his or her breathing and chakras, then automatically he will, as his awake like his awareness start rising in body, he will need much and much less sleep. And as his awareness starts going down in body, he or she will become more and more sluggish. Yeah, because this person is already, they have reached like this level of awareness, maybe this level, or maybe like there is a crown chakra, so that level of awareness they have already reached. So in that case, they have got so much sattva guna in their body. You know what, in our like on earth we are talking, if we talk about heaven, and I've read this in Bhagavad Gita and many books, that there is no need to sleep, there are no nights, and even the brightest and our sun, there are hundreds of sun there in that universe, and they are shining like anything, we cannot even face them. So that is the level of brightness there. So he's already having that brightness of his soul, which is guiding and generating so much energy that this person is always energized, and his level of energy is so high. His he men get, I was going to come on that topic tomorrow, but as Rajni has asked this very beautiful question, you know, Sadhguru is the bhakt of Shiv, Baba Bholenath, and Baba Bholenath says that the real power of man is who has overcome his lust. He has controlled his lust, and lust is the direction which is dependent now on the person. And this, there are, like, I want to discuss it tomorrow, but okay, Rajni has asked this question, that I will tell you. The real power of human being are in their, what is called as nectar, and this nectar in female is egg, and in male it is sperm. So a person who controls his lust so much that he has no desires to like overcome or deal with, like he doesn't feel lust for anyone. That's why his energy level becomes so high that he is not able, like he is not requiring to sleep. Shiv Baba says that, and he is the most potent person of whole universe. And how he does that, he has the control over his direction of sperms, and that is something which is very, like in India, if you talk about these topics, people will get annoyed. They will say, what you are saying, man. But they don't understand that the real power of woman is in her egg, and the real power of man is sperm. A person, a male who is able to control his lust completely becomes super energetic. He even might not require to sleep. That is the power of that within energy. And at that, when you reach that level, you do not need any medicine. You need less sleep, and your energy level remains constant. So that is something they have achieved via remaining at that awareness level. And I read this book, Shiv Se Shankar Tak, and this book not today, but tomorrow I will share. It's already the day has crossed. So tomorrow I'm going to share what is the actual meaning they have tried to show for life, and the actual meaning, and the power of Parvati, the power of Shiv, everything. So this okay. So these topics, when you discuss about here in India, Rajni, people will think that you are someone who is trying to deviate from something, but actually the thing is that unless we really understand what is the power of controlling the emotions in us, only then we can realize it. The problem of this current time is that people are not able to control their emotions. They are mostly served by their emotions, and whatever they want to do, there is always a shortcut nowadays. Earlier people used to think of controlling their emotions, and they automatically got it controlled, and that's why they were more powerful than us. Science, no matter, it will do the research, and this research will increase, but actually the manpower from inside of him, or the human power from inside, will automatically keep decreasing. That is the golden rule of the times. As we move ahead, the power of the body and the actual men or actual women who are really potential, earth start losing them. So they have to come forward. They have to come forward to guide people, and they have to be energized. Somehow I was not thinking that I would be so much energized. Once I remember that when I used to sleep at 1 or 2, then I used to wake up at 9, and again I would feel sleepy. Now my eyes get open automatically at 6:30, because I know that I have a mission, I have a movement, and I do not care, because I am very kind of extrovert person. I would express my thoughts. I would show myself as a weak person. I will show that how would I recover from a problem, rather than just showing myself as a very strong person, as a very learned person. I don't think learning happens that way. I think learning happens when we become humble. Learning happens when we become really aware that what we need to do for ourselves. So that is what I want to say. So I think Rajni, you need to go and sleep, because I think I have not yet completed my topic and I deviated from it. So but that was very nice question, and I think that is again due. I will try to prepare much better answer on that. Thank you for asking this question. So fifth level of this step was mindset, because when we are ready, when we have accepted, when we are committed, when we are focusing on fitness, and when we are focusing on diet, there might be some external situation which might completely make us off track, and this is when the mindset is required. Because the problem with all the people in this world is that distraction is the problem. Whenever we are trying to do something, we are always distracted to some other thing, and sometimes the distraction is huge, and in corona times it is already showing that distraction is very, very huge. So it might happen that not a problem, Rajni. I really appreciate you for watching me and really listening me, and because I thought that I always give something which I think is going in nobody's ear, but I would say that you have very patient ear. You're listening to me, so thank you very much. So mindset is something which allows a person to continue building those four steps, even if there are very hard situations. So mindset is on the level 5th, and there are many techniques, and this is something really hard. As a human, we have the tendency, our mind controls, we think that we control our existence, but it is actually our mind which has got some pattern controls our existence. It is so much smaller than our subconscious mind limit, but it has the highest priority in our body, that we can do anything what it commands, and we need to learn to command it by using our powers and subconscious mind. This is what is human birth is about. We need to learn to command our physical mind to do it. Like my mind will say that I want to sleep now, but I am not listening to it. I have learned this technique, like this is only the way to train mind. Until unless you do, like when I'm really exercising hard, my mind will say stop, you are killing yourself. So I have to stop listening to that mind, otherwise I won't find my real potential. This is what I think. So mindset is something which is at level 5th and needs to be worked upon very strongly, because it really takes time. Mindset is only the thing which takes at least 2 to 3 years to really become used to it. And there is a problem that once a person does a big mistake, he or she becomes so much reluctant, so much fearful, and if she or he is having such a bad experience, then they will completely revert back. That is something which needs to be stopped. Our Lord Shiv took the poison in same way he took it as the nectar. So we should be ready to take our poison. Only then we can understand what is the real power of nectar. So that is what I would say, that mindset is something we are allowed to do mistakes, and we are only the one person who will be judging our mistakes. Our external world will always judge us wrong. We only know that who are we. So we should not care what other people are going or trying to say, trying to drag us, trying to bully us. We should not care. So 5th level was mindset. Number 6th level is spirituality. And spirituality alone, it said that even SSRF, there is a spiritual research foundation. It says that in a body 30% of area will always remain unhealed until a person does not approaches some problem by spirituality. There is a doctor, and he is still alive. He is very great person, Athavale. He said that he could heal 70% of any problem in human beings, but 30% has to be his effort for increasing his spirituality level, and only then the problem gets away. And spirituality level is actually very tricky thing, because you never know that you can fix that 30%, because 70% will be gone, but this 30% is a big chunk, and you will be able to fix maybe 2%, 3%, 10%, 15% as a human birth. So you have to again and again take births to actually make that 30%, or you need to understand that this 30, you have to live, you start living with that, or you think of fixing that. So there are many things, permutations and combinations, but overall I wanted to discuss about these approaches, like 6-step approach for completely coming out of IBS. And in diet, definitely a person who is not able to realize the importance of mindset and spirituality needs to have those supplements. And this is where I will bring Rajni into focus, because she got amazing health benefit from doing, or like consuming few products which were like, she had visited many doctors, she was having some problem, and she was visiting many doctors, and she was taking many medicines, and nothing was working. And when she took this step of taking few supplements and like maintaining some diet restrictions, and that made her magical changes. And this is what I'm also planning to take interview of Rajni on coming Saturday, and we will go live and we will discuss about the things. Then this nutrients or this supplement diet works in IBS. This works for many other kind of problems in human body, and this is what we will discuss in coming live session on Saturday. So this is what I wanted to say via this live session. IBS can definitely be healed, but the process is long, and please do not depend upon medicines, just medicines or popping pills, and think that you will be fine one day. Find your strengths, work on your focus, work on bringing some higher level commitments. IBS will become poof, gone. So this is I'm ending this session. Thank you for watching me. Rajni, you also, if you are still there, then you take a good sleep. Have a good one. Good night.